Dr. Amanda Mitchell stared at her quantum oscillation readings, her coffee growing cold beside the holographic display. Something wasn't right. The patterns she'd been monitoring from the Lunar Research Station showed distinct irregularities, patterns too precise to be natural background radiation. "Hey Marcus, take a look at this," she called to her research partner, Dr. Marcus Reynolds, who was calibrating the deep space sensors nearby. "These signatures appear artificial." Marcus adjusted his wire-rimmed glasses and leaned over her workstation. "That's impossible. We're monitoring empty space between Mars and Jupiter. There shouldn't be anything out there generating quantum fluctuations." "Exactly." Amanda pulled up 3 months of archive data. But look at the regularity. Every 48 hours, like clockwork. Whatever this is, it's been watching us. The realization hit them both simultaneously. They weren't detecting natural phenomena. They were picking up cloaked observation posts. Their new quantum detection array, designed to study dark matter, had accidentally revealed something far more significant. Within hours, Mission Control in Houston was buzzing with activity. Amanda found herself video conferencing with military officials, NASA administrators, and government representatives from every major spacefaring nation. "You're telling me we've had aliens watching us this whole time?" General Richard Hayes leaned forward in his chair, his image slightly distorted by the quantum-encrypted feed. "How many observation posts are we talking about?" "At least 15 that we've confirmed," Amanda replied, bringing up a map of the solar system. Red dots appeared at various strategic points. They're positioned to monitor all our major communications channels: radio, microwave, even our quantum experiments. Dr. James Cooper from the European Space Agency spoke up. "The implications are staggering. They've been intercepting and analyzing everything we broadcast." Amanda nodded, but a slight smile played at the corners of her mouth. "Yes, but they made one crucial mistake. They never considered we'd developed technology that could detect their quantum signatures. They thought they were completely invisible." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had accidentally leapfrogged ahead of their watchers in at least one crucial technology. "What are our options?" asked Dr. Sarah Martinez, the head of NASA's Quantum Research Division. Amanda took a deep breath. "I have a proposal. It's radical, but it might be our best chance." She pulled up a new simulation. "We've been developing quantum communication technology that operates on principles completely different from anything we're detecting from their observation posts. If we switch all our communications to this new system, we go dark." Marcus finished her thought. "From their perspective, Earth would simply fall silent." General Hayes frowned. "Wouldn't that just convince them to take a closer look? Maybe even intervene?" "Not necessarily," Amanda countered. "We've been analyzing their observation patterns. They're extremely methodical, almost predictable. Their entire approach suggests a civilization that relies heavily on established protocols. If we do this right, we can use their own methodical nature against them." The next 12 hours were a blur of preparation. Amanda's team worked frantically to distribute quantum communication nodes to key facilities worldwide. They had to coordinate the largest technological shift in human history, and they had to do it without alerting their watchers. At exactly 300 UTC, Amanda stood before her team in the Lunar Research Station's main control room. Screens showed similar scenes playing out in control centers around the world. In 4 minutes, humanity would attempt something unprecedented. "Final checklist complete," Marcus announced. "All facilities report ready for transition." Amanda looked at the countdown timer. "Remember, everyone, the moment we switch to quantum comm, we'll be operating in true silence. No traditional signals of any kind can be allowed to leak. We have to make this look like a complete technological shutdown." The timer reached 0. Amanda took one last look at the conventional communication displays, knowing this would be a moment historians would study for centuries, assuming their plan worked. Execute Operation Darkstar. Across Earth and throughout the solar system, humanity's countless transmissions, from radio and television to satellite signals and space communications, winked out in perfect synchronization. To any watching eyes, it would appear as if human civilization had simply switched off. In the sudden quiet of their new quantum communications network, Amanda watched as the alien observation posts registered the change. Their quantum signatures shifted, suggesting increased activity. First contact was coming, she knew, but now it would happen on humanity's terms. And now, she whispered to herself, we wait to see who blinks first. Colonel James Harrison stood at the viewport of Mars Forward Base, watching the stars with newfound wariness. 3 weeks had passed since Earth initiated the blackout, and the alien observation posts had shifted position 4 times, each movement betraying growing concern. Sir, we've detected new quantum signatures approaching from the Kuiper Belt, Lieutenant Sarah Foster reported from her monitoring station. Configuration matches none of the previous observation posts. Harrison moved to the holographic display, studying the incoming data. How many? 7 vessels, sir. Larger than anything we've seen so far. Based on their quantum wake, they're pushing some serious gravitational drives. The colonel allowed himself a grim smile. Earth's silence had finally drawn the attention of someone higher up their watcher's chain of command. Through quantum channels, he contacted Houston Command. General Hayes, this is Harrison. Looks like we got company coming to check on their quiet neighbors. Acknowledged, Colonel. Continue monitoring but maintain absolute silence on all traditional channels. How's the phase shield testing proceeding? Harrison glanced at the experimental device humming quietly in the corner of the command center. Dr. Reynolds' team says we're ready for field testing. If these new visitors try scanning the base, they're in for a surprise. The alien vessels took up position around Mars, their quantum signatures pulsing with active scanning patterns. Harrison watched as his base, protected by the experimental phase shield, appeared to fade from normal spacetime, just enough to become undetectable. Multiple scanning attempts detected, Foster announced. They're using everything from basic electromagnetic to advanced quantum imaging. She paused, checking her readings twice. Sir, they're getting nothing. The phase shield is working perfectly. Throughout the base, personnel moved with practiced silence, their movements carefully choreographed to maintain the illusion of abandonment. They drilled for this, but doing it under actual alien surveillance added an edge no training could replicate. Harrison's quantum communicator chimed softly. Colonel, we're picking up some interesting transmissions between their vessels. Dr. Emily Parker, their xenolinguistics expert, reported. They're using what they think is an unbreakable quantum encryption, but thanks to Dr. Mitchell's breakthrough, we're reading them clear as day. What are they saying? They're concerned, very concerned. Apparently, Earth's sudden silence breaks every pattern they've observed in developing civilizations. Some are arguing for immediate intervention, others want to maintain their non-interference protocols. A new alert flashed across the command screens. 3 of the alien vessels were breaking formation, heading toward Earth. They're launching what appear to be automated probe platforms, Foster reported. Extremely sophisticated stealth technology, but we can track their quantum signatures easily. Harrison opened a channel to all Earth bases. All stations, implement Protocol Silent Thunder. I repeat, Protocol Silent Thunder is now active. Across the solar system, hidden human facilities activated their phase shields. One by one, humanity's outposts disappeared from normal spacetime, leaving their watchers to find nothing but empty buildings and powered-down equipment. Sir, Foster called out, excitement creeping into her professional tone. You need to see this. The alien vessels, they're arguing with each other. Their quantum signatures are showing signs of agitation. Harrison watched as the alien fleet's formation became erratic. Their scanning patterns grew increasingly desperate, searching for any sign of human activity. But Earth and its colonies remained silent, hidden behind technology their watchers hadn't even theorized possible. General Hayes, Harrison reported through quantum channels. Phase 1 is complete. The visitors are officially spooked. Excellent work, Colonel. Maintain current protocols. Let them stew in their uncertainty for a while longer. As the alien vessels continued their fruitless search, Harrison reflected on humanity's unusual position. For the first time in recorded history, an emerging civilization had managed to slip through their watchers' fingers not through defeat or destruction, but through technological transcendence. "Sir," Foster interrupted his thoughts, "we're detecting more quantum signatures entering the system. Much larger fleet this time." Harrison nodded, unsurprised. "Looks like we've got the Galactic Council's attention. Good. Time to show them that humanity's silence isn't a sign of weakness. It's a declaration of strength." He watched as more alien ships appeared around Mars, their quantum signatures betraying their confusion and concern. Earth's silence had turned into humanity's greatest weapon, and they hadn't fired a single shot. Lieutenant Kate Reynolds checked her phase shift suit's quantum indicators one final time as the ghost ship Shadowdancer slid through space undetected. Her 6-person infiltration team sat ready in the deployment bay, each member handpicked for humanity's first covert operation beyond the solar system. Phase integrity at 100%. Commander Mark Stevens reported from his pilot station. "We're approaching the alien research station. Their quantum signatures suggest minimal activity." Kate nodded, her helmet displaying a real-time feed of the massive structure floating before them. The station's elegant crystalline architecture highlighted just how advanced their watchers were, or thought they were. "Remember, team," Kate addressed her squad through quantum comms, "we're here to gather intelligence only. No engagement unless absolutely necessary. These phase shift suits make us completely invisible to their sensors, but we still don't know all their detection capabilities." The Shadowdancer eased alongside the station, its advanced phase shift technology rendering it as invisible as its crew. Through their quantum sensors, they watched alien crew members going about their duties, completely unaware of humanity's presence. "Docking interface engaged," Stevens announced. "Ready for phase shift insertion in 3, 2, 1. Kate felt the familiar tingle as her suit synchronized with the ship's phase field. She led her team through the station's hull, their partially shifted state allowing them to pass through solid matter, as if it were mist. "Quantum signatures are holding steady," reported Lieutenant James Chen, their technical specialist. "Station security systems show no sign of detecting our presence." The team moved through the station's corridors like ghosts, passing alien crew members close enough to touch. Kate's suit translated and displayed their conversations in real time, building a comprehensive picture of the station's purpose. "Captain," Chen called out softly, "you need to see this. I've found their primary data core." Kate followed him into a vast chamber filled with crystalline data storage structures. Chen interfaced his suit's quantum systems with the alien technology, careful to maintain their invisibility. "This isn't just a research station," he reported, his voice tense with discovery. "It's a monitoring hub for multiple species. They'd been doing this for thousands of years, identifying promising civilizations, and," he paused, "guiding their development." "Guiding how?" Kate asked, though she suspected the answer. "Through orchestrated interventions, wars, technological discoveries, cultural shifts, all carefully managed to produce specific outcomes." Chen pulled up more data. Earth was next on their list. They had plans to orchestrate a global crisis that would unite humanity under their influence. Kate felt her jaw clench. "Download everything. Every file, every plan, every species they've manipulated. How long do you need?" "With our quantum storage systems, 5 minutes." As Chen worked, Kate's team continued securing their exit route. Everything was going smoothly, too smoothly. "Captain," Sergeant Sarah Wilson's voice crackled through the quantum comm. "We've got movement. Large group of security personnel heading toward the data core. They're armed." Kate checked her tactical display. "Did they detect us?" "Negative. Looks like a scheduled security patrol, but they'll be here in 2 minutes. Chen. 3 minutes minimum for the download. Kate made her decision. Hold positions. Remember, we're operating in a shifted phase state. They literally cannot see or touch us unless we allow it. The security team entered the data core, their weapons ready but pointed at nothing. Kate and her team stood absolutely still as the aliens moved through them, an experience that tested every nerve they had. Download complete. Chen whispered after what felt like hours. Excellent. Team, fall back to extraction point. Silent protocol all the way out. They retraced their steps through the station, carrying with them the evidence of thousands of years of manipulation. Earth's silence had given them the perfect cover to learn the truth about their would-be overlords. Back aboard the Shadow Dancer, Kate transmitted their findings through secure quantum channels to Earth Command. Mission accomplished. Command. You're not going to believe what we found. Good work, Lieutenant. General Hayes responded. Return to base immediately. It's time to move to the next phase of operations. As the Shadow Dancer disappeared into the darkness of space, Kate looked back at the alien station. Its inhabitants had no idea that their carefully managed galaxy was about to change forever, all because humanity had learned to embrace the silence. Professor David Walker paced in his underground laboratory beneath the Rocky Mountains, watching as his latest quantum-entangled matter transmission test powered up. After 3 months of Earth's self-imposed silence, his team had achieved something revolutionary. Primary quantum matrix stable, Dr. Rebecca Morgan announced from her control station. Matter stream coherence at 98%. That's 12 points higher than our last attempt. David nodded, his eyes fixed on the test chamber where a small potted plant sat waiting. Begin transmission sequence. Let's see if we can move something living this time. The air around the plant shimmered as quantum fields enveloped it. On the other side of the lab, an identical field formed in the receiving chamber. The plant disappeared from one spot and materialized in the other, its leaves still swaying from the transfer. Bio readings are perfect, Rebecca reported, excitement breaking through her professional demeanor. Complete molecular reconstruction with 0 degradation. David, we did it. Before they could celebrate, alarms blared through the facility. Unknown vessels detected entering Earth space, the quantum AI announced. Multiple signatures match mining fleet configurations. David rushed to the quantum monitoring station. A fleet of massive alien ships had appeared near Saturn's rings, their industrial quantum signatures suggesting resource-gathering equipment. They're not supposed to be here, Rebecca said, pulling up the sensor data. This sector was marked as restricted in the files Lieutenant Reynolds' team recovered. David opened a quantum channel to Space Command. General Hayes, are you seeing this? We are, Professor. Looks like some independent operators decided to take advantage of Earth's silence. They probably think we've wiped ourselves out or abandoned the system. Sir, request permission to field test the quantum matter transmission system. We've just achieved stable transport of biological matter. A pause. Approved, Professor. Show them why it's unwise to trespass in human space. David turned to his team. Prep the main quantum transmitter. Time to test this on a larger scale. Within minutes, the alien fleet began its approach towards Saturn's rings, their mining equipment powering up. They never noticed the quantum fields forming around their ships. Quantum lock established, Rebecca reported. Matter stream coherence holding at 97%. Ready for transmission. David took a deep breath. Execute. In an instant, the entire alien fleet vanished from Saturn's orbit. They reappeared seconds later near Pluto, their ships perfectly intact, but now facing the wrong direction. Transmission successful, Rebecca confirmed. Biosigns from all vessels show no adverse effects. They're completely fine, just very confused. Through their quantum sensors, they watched as the alien fleet scrambled to understand what had happened. Their confusion turned to panic as they realized they'd been moved billions of kilometers instantly, without any explanation. Should we send them back? Rebecca asked. trying to hide her grin. "No need," David replied. "They're already leaving at maximum speed. I don't think they'll be back." General Hayes' voice came through the quantum comm. "Outstanding work, Professor. The Council's observation posts just went crazy trying to figure out what happened. As far as they can tell, those ships just teleported." David studied the quantum readings from the test. "Sir, with some scaling up, we could transport entire space stations, maybe even small moons." "That's exactly what I wanted to hear. How soon can you start installing these systems on our defense platforms?" "Give me 2 weeks. We'll have complete coverage of the solar system." As his team began preparations for the defense grid upgrade, David watched the alien fleet's retreat on the quantum monitors. Earth's silence had given them the time they needed to perfect this technology, and now they had something no other species possessed: true matter transmission. "Professor," Rebecca called out, "we're getting interesting readings from the Council observation posts. They're pulling back to the outer system. I think we scared them." David smiled. "Good. Let them wonder what else we've developed during our silence. The galaxy's about to learn that humanity isn't just another species to be guided or controlled." Through the quantum channels, reports began coming in from other research stations. New breakthroughs, new technologies, all developed under the cover of Earth's silence. The galaxy had no idea what was coming, and that was exactly how humanity wanted it. Admiral Jessica Thompson stood on the bridge of the Nightshade, humanity's first quantum-powered carrier, watching as her fleet of 30 ships materialized in the Proxima Centauri system. The quantum matter transmission had worked flawlessly, placing each vessel in perfect formation. "All ships report successful transit," Commander Robert Chen announced. "Phase shields operating at full capacity. We remain undetected." Jessica nodded, studying the holographic display showing their first extrasolar colony site. "Status of the construction platforms. Ready for deployment, Admiral. Settlement pods are prepped and loaded with the first wave of colonists." Through quantum communications, similar reports flowed in from other fleet groups. Operation Silent Spring was proceeding exactly as planned. Humanity's first major expansion beyond Sol, completely hidden from galactic observation. "Admiral," Lieutenant Mark Stevens called out urgently, "we're detecting quantum signatures approaching the system. Multiple vessels, not Council-affiliated." The tactical display lit up with new contacts. 2 alien fleets emerged from hyperspace, weapons already firing at each other. Their quantum signatures identified them as the Solaran and Nexus factions, their civil war now threatening to engulf Proxima Centauri. "Status of our colonists," Jessica demanded. "Still in quantum stasis, Admiral. Settlement pods haven't been deployed yet." Jessica opened a fleet-wide quantum channel. "All ships, implement Protocol Ghostwalker. Prepare for emergency evacuation operations." The human fleet, still cloaked by their phase shields, moved into position around the battling alien armadas. Neither side had any idea they were about to witness something unprecedented. "Quantum fields established," Commander Chen reported. "Ready for mass transmission." Jessica watched as the alien vessels continued their battle, their weapons fire illuminating the space around them. "Begin evacuation sequence. Priority on civilian ships." Through their quantum sensors, they identified multiple civilian vessels caught in the crossfire. One by one, these ships vanished, transported safely to the edge of the system through quantum matter transmission. "Civilian evacuation complete," Chen announced. "Both sides are scanning for the missing ships. They're showing signs of confusion and concern." "Good. Now for Phase 2. Target the weapon platforms on both sides." The Nightshade's quantum systems locked onto the primary weapon systems of both fleets. In a cascade of quantum transfers, the weapons simply disappeared, reappearing as inert masses of metal floating near the system's outer boundary. "All major weapons successfully removed," Stevens reported. "Both fleets are standing down, their quantum signatures showing rapid power fluctuations. They're panicking, Admiral." Jessica allowed herself a small smile. Open a quantum channel to both fleet commanders. Audio only. Channel open. This is a message to both Solaran and Nexus forces, Jessica announced. Her voice carried through quantum channels that neither side could trace or block. Your civilian ships have been moved to safety. Your weapons have been neutralized. This system is now under protection. You have 30 minutes to retreat before we demonstrate our capabilities further. The alien fleets hung in space, their quantum signatures betraying their confusion and fear. Then, one by one, they began to withdraw, their mighty warships reduced to powerless transports by an unseen force. All hostile forces retreating, Chen confirmed. The system is clear. Jessica nodded. Resume colony deployment, and send word to Earth Command. Tell them Operation Silent Spring is proceeding as planned, with an unexpected bonus. We've just established our first protectorate. As the settlement pods began their descent to the chosen colony site, Jessica reflected on how far humanity had come. In less than 6 months, they had gone from a species under observation to one capable of stopping an alien civil war without firing a shot. Admiral Stevens called out, "We're detecting quantum transmissions between the retreating fleets. They're spreading the word about what happened here." "Perfect," Jessica replied. "Let them talk. Let them wonder. The galaxy needs to understand that humanity's silence wasn't the end of our story. It was just the beginning." The Nightshade's quantum sensors detected more Council observation posts appearing at the system's edge, drawn by reports of the incident. They would find no trace of human activity, no sign of the force that had so easily ended a battle between two advanced civilizations. Earth's silent fleet had made its first move, and the galaxy would never be the same. Special Agent Michael Cooper materialized inside the Grand Commerce Station of the Galactic Council, his phase shift suit making him as invisible as a ghost. After 6 months of Earth's silence, humanity's deep reconnaissance program had infiltrated every major alien facility in the local sector. Central control rooms secured. Agent Lisa Parker reported through quantum comms. "Security systems remain unaware of our presence. You're clear to begin data extraction." Michael moved through the crowded station, passing mere inches from alien beings of countless species. Their conversations, translated in real time by his suit's quantum AI, painted a picture of growing unease throughout the galaxy. "Did you hear about the Proxima incident?" a tall crystalline being asked its companion. An entire battle fleet's weapons simply vanished. The Council is in chaos trying to explain it. Michael smiled beneath his helmet. Admiral Thompson's intervention had caused exactly the kind of confusion Earth Command had hoped for. He approached the station's primary data core, his quantum interface ready to begin the hack. "Hold position," Lisa's voice crackled. "We've got a council meeting starting in the main chamber. High-level officials present." "Hatch me into the feed," Michael ordered, changing course toward the meeting room. The council chamber was packed with representatives from dozens of species. Michael found a position near the speaker's platform, his suit recording everything. "The situation has become untenable," the Grand Speaker announced, their bioluminescent form pulsing with concern. "First, the humans go silent. Then their colonies vanish. Now we have reports of impossible technologies being used throughout the sector. Perhaps it's time we admitted our mistake," another council member suggested. "Our observation protocols failed. While we watched them through primitive electromagnetic scanning, they developed quantum technology that surpassed our own." Michael's quantum scanner picked up a surge of data flowing through the station's networks. "Lisa, are you seeing this?" "Affirmative. They're accessing the Uplift archives, getting classified files on Earth." The council chamber's holographic display lit up with images of Earth, recorded over decades of secret observation. Michael felt his blood run cold as he watched their plans unfold, the carefully orchestrated crisis they had planned, the manipulations they would have used to guide humanity's development. "Sir," Lisa's voice carried a note of urgency. "New files being accessed. They're pulling up the failed Uplift records." Michael watched as new images appeared, Worlds burned, civilizations collapsed, species extinct, all victims of failed guidance attempts by the Council. Emergency abort, Michael transmitted to his team. Download everything from the archives and prepare for immediate extraction. Earth Command needs to see this now. As his team worked, the Council continued their debate, unaware that representatives of their latest project stood among them, witnessing their true nature. The humans have achieved what no other species has managed, the Grand Speaker concluded. They've broken free of our observation without destroying themselves. The question now is, what are they planning? Michael's quantum communicator pulsed. Data extraction complete. Lisa reported. All teams ready for quantum transmission. Execute transmission, Michael ordered. In an instant, his team vanished from the station, the stolen data secure in their quantum storage systems. Back at Earth Command, Michael delivered his report to General Hayes and the Joint Chiefs. The quantum recordings played out before them, showing the Council's true face. They've done this dozens of times, Michael explained. Find a promising species, engineer a crisis, then sweep in as saviors bearing advanced technology. Those who accept their guidance become client states. Those who resist. He gestured to the images of dead worlds. General Hayes studied the data with a grim expression. And now they're afraid because their plans for Earth were disrupted by our silence. Yes, sir. But more than that, they're afraid because we've demonstrated capabilities they can't understand or counter. Every failed uplift in their records involved species that fought back. We're the first to simply vanish. Good, Hayes nodded. Let them worry. Let them wonder. Phase 7 begins tomorrow. And then they'll learn why humanity's silence was just the calm before the storm. Michael looked at the stolen Council data, evidence of countless civilizations manipulated or destroyed by their would-be benefactors. Soon, the galaxy would learn that humanity had no intention of becoming another failed uplift statistic. General Thomas Wright stood in Earth Command's Quantum Operations Center, watching as the Arcturian battle fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. After 8 months of human silence, the most aggressive species in the Council had finally lost patience. 117 vessels detected, Colonel Sarah Martinez reported. Energy signatures suggest planet-killer-class weapons. They're not here for diplomacy. Sir. Thomas nodded, his expression calm despite the threat. Status of our defense grid. Quantum matter transmitters at full power. Phase shields operating at maximum efficiency. The Arcturians can't detect any of our preparations. The massive alien fleet moved forward, their formation spreading out to surround Earth. Their quantum signatures pulsed with weapon energy, preparing for what they assumed would be a swift conquest of a primitive world. Message incoming, Lieutenant John Parker announced. They're broadcasting on all frequencies. The Arcturian commander appeared on the main screen, their crystalline exoskeleton gleaming with bioluminescent patterns. People of Earth, your silence ends today. Submit to Arcturian guidance or face extinction. You have one planetary rotation to respond. Thomas opened a quantum channel to all Earth forces. All units, prepare to execute Operation Checkmate. Remember, we're not here to start a war. We're here to prevent one. The Arcturian fleet launched their first wave of automated probes toward Earth. Each probe carried enough firepower to level a city, but they never reached their targets. As they crossed the quantum defense perimeter, they simply vanished. Probes successfully transmitted to holding facility on Mars, Martins reported. Arcturian fleet showing signs of confusion. They're launching a second wave. Wave after wave of probes disappeared, transported safely away by Earth's quantum technology. The Arcturian fleet's formation began to show signs of disorder as their weapons proved useless. Sir, Parker called out, they're charging their primary planet-killer weapons. Energy readings are off the scale. Thomas allowed himself a small smile. Time to show them why silence is golden. Execute Phase 2. Across the solar system, hidden quantum transmitters activated. The Arcturian fleet's weapon systems began to vanish, piece by piece, transmitted to secure facilities throughout human space. The alien vessels hung powerless, their quantum signatures fluctuating with panic. All major weapons successfully removed. Martinez confirmed. The fleet is effectively neutralized. Open a channel to their flagship, Thomas ordered. Let's explain their situation. The Arcturian commander appeared again, their bioluminescence patterns showing clear signs of distress. Before they could speak, Thomas held up his hand. Your weapons have been safely relocated, he stated calmly. Your probes are secured. Your fleet is defenseless, but your crews are unharmed. This is not an act of war, it's a demonstration. Impossible, the Arcturian hissed. No species at your development level could achieve this. That's where you're wrong. Earth's silence wasn't a sign of weakness or submission. It was preparation. While you watched our old transmissions, we transcended every limitation you thought we had. Warning signals blared as the Arcturian fleet attempted to retreat. Their engines flared, but their ships remained stationary, held in place by quantum fields they couldn't detect or understand. We're releasing your fleet now, Thomas continued. Return to your space and deliver this message to the Council. Earth does not require guidance. We have chosen our own path. The quantum fields released their hold. The Arcturian fleet fled in disarray, their mighty armada humbled without a single shot fired. As they disappeared into hyperspace, Thomas opened a channel to Earth Command. Operation Checkmate complete, he reported. The Arcturians have been successfully deterred. Excellent work, General, President Chen responded. How long until they return with reinforcements? They won't, sir. We didn't just defeat their fleet. We shattered their understanding of what's possible. The galaxy is about to learn that humanity's silence wasn't submission to their rules. It was us writing our own. Above Earth, the quantum defense grid hummed quietly, invisible to traditional sensors, but more powerful than any weapon. Humanity had transformed silence into strength, and the galaxy would never be the same. Dr. Rachel Anderson stepped onto the Grand Council Chamber's speaking platform, her quantum-enhanced diplomatic suit allowing her to appear simultaneously before representatives of over 300 species. After 9 months of silence, humanity was finally ready to speak. Distinguished members of the Galactic Council, she began, her words translated perfectly into every language present. Earth thanks you for this audience. We understand our silence has caused concern. The chamber buzzed with murmurs. The Grand Speaker's crystalline form shifted colors rapidly. Concern. You've disrupted the natural order. Ships vanish. Weapons disappear. Battles end without explanation. And now you simply request an audience as if we were equals. Rachel interrupted smoothly. That's precisely why we're here. She gestured, and quantum projectors activated throughout the chamber, displaying scenes from the past 9 months. We discovered your observation posts by accident, she continued. But what we found in your archives was no accident. We saw your plans for Earth, for humanity, the carefully orchestrated crisis you would have engineered, the guidance you would have offered. The chamber erupted in protest, but Rachel's quantum-enhanced voice cut through the chaos. We also saw the failed uplift records, the civilizations destroyed by your interference, the species that chose extinction over submission. Our methods preserve galactic stability, another council member argued. Without proper guidance, emerging civilizations often destroy themselves. Rachel smiled. And that's why we chose silence. Not out of fear or weakness, but because we saw a better way. She activated another display, showing the peaceful resolution at Proxima Centauri. While you watched for radio signals, we mastered quantum communications. While you planned our crisis, we developed technology that made your most advanced weapons obsolete. And while you debated intervention, we proved that true guidance doesn't require force or manipulation. The Grand Speaker's colors darkened. You propose an alternative. We propose freedom. Rachel replied. The freedom for each species to develop at their own pace without interference. Earth will serve as guardian of that right. Holographic displays showed human quantum ships appearing near developing worlds, their phase shields protecting young civilizations from unwanted interference. Already, 30 species have accepted our offer of protection. Rachel continued. Not control, not guidance, but simply the freedom to choose their own path. We call it the silent protocol. The chamber fell quiet as the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just escaped the Council's influence, they had created an entirely new paradigm. And if we refuse? The Grand Speaker asked. If we choose to maintain our traditional methods? Rachel's expression remained diplomatic, but her voice carried steel. We've already demonstrated our capabilities. The Arcturian fleet learned that lesson well. We don't seek conflict, but we will protect the right of every species to develop without manipulation. She gestured once more, and the quantum projectors showed a final image. Earth, surrounded by its invisible defense grid, a silent guardian in the darkness of space. The age of forced guidance is over, Rachel declared. Earth's silence has shown us a better way. We invite you to join us in this new era, not as controllers or guides, but as equals. Partners in ensuring that every new civilization has the same chance we took. The chance to choose their own destiny. The council chamber erupted in discussion, quantum translators working overtime as hundreds of species debated this unprecedented proposal. Rachel stood calmly, knowing that humanity's position was unassailable. Through her quantum comm, she contacted Earth Command. Message delivered, Mr. President. The silent protocol is now officially proposed. Well done, Doctor, President Chen replied. And the Council's response. Rachel watched as species after species indicated their support, some eager to escape the Council's manipulation themselves, others impressed by humanity's peaceful demonstration of power. They're accepting it, she reported. Not all of them, not yet, but enough. The galaxy is changing, sir, and humanity's silence helped make it possible. Above the Council chamber, Earth's quantum ships stood guard, invisible but ever-present. They were no longer the primitives being watched from afar. They had become the watchers, the protectors, the champions of freedom in a galaxy that had forgotten its value. And it all began with silence. The end. Would you like me to help you compile or format the complete story in any particular way?